Hi everyone, Justin here with Summit Racing Equipment, and in this video we're going to show you how to install a ReadyLift SST lift kit on our 2020 Ram pickup. Let's get to work. ReadyLift SST lift kits are the perfect solution if you want to add a little lift. These are the first ever mild rear lift kits that allow you to use larger wheel and tire combinations while keeping and maintaining OE ride quality and handling. ReadyLift uses something called smart suspension technology to make these kits very user-friendly to install and require no cutting. The kit includes CNC machined billet aluminum front spacers, fabricated steel rear spacers, and heavy-duty control arms. These are the tools we're going to use for our installation. We're going to start our installation off by removing the front wheels. We've already gone ahead and done this, so we're going to move on. Next, you're going to want to undo the upper brake line hold. Next, disconnect the factory ABS wire from the upper control arm and frame rail. We're going to unplug the ABS sensor and tuck it out of the way for later. Remove the outer tie rod from the knuckle. We're going to go ahead and remove the upper ball joint. With a couple hits from our dead blow hammer, we separated the upper control arm from the knuckle. We're going to go ahead and remove the factory sway bar next. We've already removed the mount on the other side. We're just going to swing that out of the way. We're going to go ahead and support the lower control arm and remove the lower strut bolt. We're going to go ahead and remove the upper strut mounts now. Next, you need to go ahead and disassemble your struts. Per ReadyLift, this is a very dangerous task and these springs are under extreme pressure. If you don't have the proper tool or don't feel safe doing this, take them to a trained professional. We've gone ahead and had our struts disassembled and our ReadyLift spacers installed. Make sure to follow the ReadyLift instructions closely as the orientation of the strut matters in the installation. Now that we've got the strut out of the way, we're going to go ahead and remove the upper control arm. We're ready to start the reinstallation process, and we're going to start with the new upper control arm. Now it's important to note that we're just going to snug these up by hand and come back and torque them later. We're almost ready to reinstall our strut, but before we do, we need to install the strut spacer. We're going to add a little blue Loctite just for safety. Now you're going to want to torque these nuts to the specified number in the ReadyLift instructions. We're going to go ahead and install our bottom strut bolt now. We're just going to snug it up now and come back and torque it later. Now we're going to go ahead and install the upper ball joint back in the top knuckle. Be sure to refer to your ReadyLift instructions and use the proper hardware. We're going to go ahead and snug our ball joint up now and come back and torque it later. Next, we're going to go ahead and reinstall the tie rod, reusing the factory hardware. Go ahead and reinstall your factory ABS sensor. Now we're going to go ahead and start torquing our fasteners. We're going to start with our upper control arm, top of our strut, ball joint, bottom strut, and sway bar. After you've gone ahead and torqued your upper control arm nut, make sure to install the supplied cotter pin. We're almost finished up, and now we just have to grease our upper ball joint. Repeat this process on the other side. Now that we've finished the front, we're going to move our way to the back. We're going to start this process by loosening the 4 control arm bolts, but not removing them. Now that we've gone ahead and loosened the 4 control arm bolts on this side, go ahead and loosen the 4 on the other side. Now we're going to go ahead and loosen the track bar. Go ahead and remove both your lower shock bolts. Locate your upper sway bar mount link and your brake line bracket and remove both. Make sure to repeat this process on the other side. We're going to go ahead and lower the rear end now so we can remove the coil springs and rubber isolators. With a suitable cutting device, remove the nubs on the top of the rubber isolators. Now we're going to go ahead and install the ReadyLift bump stop extension. Using the 2 outer holes in the hardware provided, we're going to bolt it down. Now we're going to go ahead and install the other bump stop extension. We're ready to reinstall our coil springs now, but before we do, we need to install the rubber isolator and ReadyLift coil spacer bracket. Repeat this step on the other side. Now we're going to go ahead and reattach our sway bar links and our brake line holds. We're just snugging these up. We're going to come back and torque them later. ReadyLift recommends setting our vehicle back on the ground to torque everything to spec, so we're going to throw our wheels and tires on and do just that. So before we go ahead and torque everything, we're going to reinstall our lower shock bolts. Repeat this on the other side. Now we're going to go ahead and torque the lower control arm bolts. And with that, our ReadyLift install is complete. Our truck has just the right amount of lift to clear our 35-1250s and some additional ground clearance too. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel for more installation videos, tech tips, and more. I'm Justin with Summit Racing. Thanks for watching.